Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, live here at the Scotts Grand, 5060 Dorchester Road, here in Charleston, South Carolina, 29418. I got with me a lady. She's a poet, she's a motivational speaker, and she's a teacher in the North Carolina area. I have with me Miss Breyanna Mitriece. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
How's everything?
Good, good. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you had to come to the show. She had drove here to come and spend some time with us here at the Logan Power Show. How you have all this time for all that stuff? You busy.
Yeah, I do stay busy, but I make time. I have a to-do list. I'm a to-do list person, so I write everything down and then I check it off as I go, but I make time for everything. To do everything that I need to do.
Oh yes, definitely. So I want to know, you got your first book.
Yes.
Let the people know about this first book you've already got.
My first book is entitled Imperfect Greatness. Imperfect Greatness is love and life-inspired poetry. A lot of the poems written in the book are my story, things that I've been through, but a lot of the poems are also about other people's story that I've been inspired by and helped me write poetry. What I love about the book is it deals with a range of topics from faith, love, divorce, sexuality, and countless other topics. So it's a range of things. So anything that you're kind of going through, it's a poem in there for it.
Okay. All right, now, I know that you're a poet, and that is something that you have to have. It's a lot of talent to be given. It's given. You know, it's not something you can. I be a poet, become a poet. Who inspired you to become who you are?
My mom, both of my parents actually. My mom, she inspired me because she's a strong woman. She's never been one to complain, and she just work. So I guess that's why I get my hard work from.
Okay.
And why I never give up and I never complain. I just do what needs to be done. But my dad has always been the one to push books and education. As little as I can remember, he's always given me books as gifts, magazines. So he's always imparted that knowledge, you know, for me to learn things, to gain things. And one of the first poetry books or books that he's given me was by Maya Angelou, While the Caged Bird Sings.
Okay.
So from when I was, you know, very little. So just from reading that book and just growing up, poetry just always been, you know, with me.
Wow, man, you really. You have a passion. You can see it on your face that you actually love poetry. Now, you're working on the second book.
Yes.
What's the name of that second book?
The second book is called Falling in Love with Yourself, A Guide to Becoming a Better You.
Okay. That's a great title. Falling in Love with Yourself, A Guide to a Better You.
Yeah.
So what is that going to be about?
So Falling in Love with Yourself, it will not be poetry, but it will be teaching women about finding that first love, which is their self. So it just talks about self-esteem building, as well as them validating their own beauty, and as well as teaching them how to sustain and build healthy relationships with women and with men.
Okay, that's an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Definitely a relationship with men. Now, what do you say to somebody who says, like, my first love is a male? Or like, you know, how does that, so pretty much it's a self-esteem building type of book.
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause I know a lot of times people say, my first love was this person and that person. And you like, no, man, that's not who it is.
Yeah. It's just in the midst of things, if you're naming everybody that you love, don't forget to name yourself, basically. So while you're saying, I love my mom, I love my daughter, I love my dad, don't forget to include yourself, you know, in that list.
I understand. Now, big question we always want to say, where do you envision yourself next 3 to 5 years? Where do you want to be?
Writing more books, as well as traveling the world, empowering young women as well as older women. So in 3 to 5 years, that's why I see myself going out speaking and teaching and empowering young women around the country.
Now, I know being a teacher in the elementary level, and then also you're a poet, a motivational speaker. Do you find yourself sometimes in the classroom where you're giving poetry to your students, and as part of your teaching method?
Sometimes making up songs, so not so much, I'm having them write poetry, but I kind of make up songs, for them to sing. So it's just random songs that, are poetry songs that I make up in the classroom with the children.
Okay. And your favorite poet, who is that?
Maya Angelou.
Ah, see, your dad gave you the book.
Yeah.
You got inspired, and you said, like, hey, I am all with it. This is what I want to do. Now, I know that you got a lot of things that you're doing, and I appreciate you even coming onto the show. I feel honored to even come onto the show. Now, you think back over your life and going everything. Big question is, what got you to where you are right now?
Life experience, I do believe. Sometimes your life when you're younger, you plan your life to go a certain way, and it never occurs to us that it's not going to go exactly how you planned. I got married young, and now I'm divorced. But I think from the things that I've been through as a young girl into now is why I am, why I want to empower other people, speak life and speak greatness over other people. I seen my mom when we was younger. We was homeless at one point till she building her first home, so seeing that things can happen if you work hard, you dedicate yourself, and you believe and keep the faith in God, that anything can happen in your life. So a lot of life experience have me where I am here now.
Well, you're a walking testimony, because no one would ever think you was homeless. And then all of a sudden, from homeless to home, you're a poet, a teacher, and sometimes me being a student, and I see people all the time. They say, like, I never thought my teacher would be homeless, things like that. So that's a great testimony of how you overcome it, and that's where it's about, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like you look at somebody and say, oh, they've had everything under the sun. I think that for you, just taking a look upon yourself, you're like, man, I didn't know she went through X, Y, Z, Z, and Z, and Z, and overcome all those, and how God brought you through. So I mean, you're a walking testimony. And we like to, for instance, when you come on again, because we want you to come back on the show, we want you to show us book number 2.
Okay,
because definitely we want to get that book. Her information is on the screen right now. Get in contact with her, purchase the first book. We want to sell it out, get as many as possible. If you have questions, definitely let us know right now in the Logan Power Show. Facebook us, give some feedback. Twitter, email us, text us, let us know. Let's support what Miss Breyanna is actually doing. So I know that our time's about to be ending right now, but I know that you're doing so many great things. Is anyone in particular you want to give a shout out to here in the Logan Power Show?
My mom. I'll give a shout out to my mom. The biggest support. Just my biggest supporter. And she means the world to me. She supports me through anything, even with my 2 children. She's always been my backbone. So I just want to give a shout out to my mom. Thank her for everything. I can't thank her enough, but to my mom. Shout out to Miss
Breyanna's mom. Hey, like I said, Miss Mitriece, we want to thank you for doing a great job with your daughter. Also to your father, definitely give a shout out to him for what he's doing, and your lovely kids. Because like I said, they're live here at the Logan Power Show. They right here in the back behind us doing their thing. But we definitely want to thank everyone for all your support, all your love. That's all the time I got. My name is Calvin of the Logan Power Show. We love you, we appreciate you, and we will see you next week.